Welcome to the Twin Cities Leaders Podcast, Leadership Over Dinner series. I'm your host, Kevin King. This is a 3-part summer series where I sit down with artists, creatives, and founders in the Twin Cities. Today I'm here with Imani Jackson, founder of the Chopped and Served here in St. Paul. So Imani, tell me, what are we making today?
Oh yeah, baby. We got you homemade bagels, okay? So I can give you the best of the best. Your Bodega New York bagel sandwich.
Okay.
So we've got our bagel,
Toasted
a
bagel.
garlic Parmesan bagel. You're welcome, delicious.
Okay.
So we can toast that bad boy over here. We're also gonna start with cracking some eggs.
Okay.
So you're gonna crack your eggs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Give you 2 of these bad boys.
Talk to me about what's it like cooking for someone?
It's an honor, I see it as, to be able to cook for people because, you know, everyone has their own food, taste and appeal and flavor. So to be chosen, you know, and to be wanted to eat your food all the time, that's a gift from God, you know, it's a blessing. So
Now, again, because a lot of people don't like cooking, or they say that I don't have time to cook or anything like that, or it takes too long. So like, just walk me through like what you enjoy about like the process of cooking for other people.
I love the process of seeing their favorites. Like, what are your favorite foods, right?
Yeah.
And then how can we make them healthy and gut friendly? Because they can't even imagine or fathom their favorite food being healthy too.
That's me.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like so satisfying to be able to know that like yesterday this started from a bowl of yeast water and some agave. And now I'm making you a full-blown sandwich with it.
Okay.
And then I've got my garden growing. Oh my gosh, my tomatoes. I planted the seeds in December of 2025. Okay? They're as big as a tree at this point. I'll show you a picture.
Okay.
But the whole point of it is like the nurturing, the caring, the planting the seed of it, right? The watering of the seed. That's food.
See, that's the vibes I'm picking up from you, is that you, because I talk about the process, and that's where a lot of people don't like it. They don't like because it's work. But for you, it feels organic. It almost feels like it's healing for you. Like
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like it does something for your soul.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. For sure. It's like our common ground of like humanity. You know, we have to eat. Right? Like that's what they say. So to be able to give someone food and to be able to like heal them through like providing a service of love, you know, is a very special thing. We get to leave people better than how we found them with our food.
When did you first fall in love or have a passion for not only food, but just for cooking food?
Yeah, honestly, since forever. But when I was able to really start cooking my own food was the 4th grade. And I was like, all right, Mama, I'm frying chicken. Stop playing with me. My friends are outside rolling, filling up the water balloons. I was like, we got to eat.
Yeah. So 9 years old, you're in there frying up chicken.
Yep, I certainly am. And then I would just, you know, come home and make meals for myself as well. Get some chicken, saute it up with some potatoes or some rice or whatever. Like it was easy. It was like my friends were always like, yeah, Imani's cooking for us and we're just hanging out. Like I've always been cooking.
Now, was it like you didn't like the chicken that you were eating, or like you felt like you could do it better? Like tell me the thought process.
Yeah, I guess. Well, it's coming from a single parent household, right? Like mama's working, you got to figure it out too.
Yeah.
So you got to learn to make something from nothing. So a lot of it was just survival, I suppose. And like literally having to be independent and like just like environmental circumstances. So it's like you can choose to go to the store and like get chips, or you can like, Mom always said, there's food in the house, you just got to cook it.
Like when you look at your 9-year-old self, was this if you had a vision, would this be it? Was this it?
No, it wasn't.
No?
It wasn't. I didn't think this is where I'd be. I thought I'd be like a professional athlete. I was amazing at basketball. I thought like sports was my calling or my purpose. Okay. And then, you know, life happens, circumstances, like I said, happen, and you have to shift and navigate. And then this became my calling. Like I finally was graduating high school and I got my passport. So I started traveling and I was like, whoa, I really do love food. The picky person who loves food is trying to cook the food now.
Right.
And then I got a job at Whole Foods, and then they threw me into the catering section, and then we're like feeding NBA, NFL. I'm going to the airport to give LeBron James his meal, Jaleel Okafor, you know, those were the meals I was cooking when I was like 19 at Whole Foods, because that's, you know, when Whole Foods was popping.
Yeah.
So it just No, I didn't. But I didn't think this would be my calling at 9. But now at 19, I did know it was my calling.
Okay,
And I fell right into it. I just followed God's plan and I just surrendered it to have him lead me to what it's supposed to be. And like, look, everything comes full circle.
For sure, yeah. And the scalability or the scaling of it, has that been a pleasant surprise for you just in terms of how it's grown so fast?
It is a blessing that the demand has always been greater than the supply.
That's awesome.
Always been a blessing. You know, it's
Yes.
a good problem to have.
You're known for your Blewish cuisine. Can you
And I'm
talk
serving
about...
you bacon as a Jew.
So I want you to explain what Blewish cuisine is and how, tell me the story, the backstory.
Yeah. So Blewish Cuisine is black plus Jewish equals bluish. That's me.
Okay.
So a lot of it comes from the idea of, all right, let's see here, our sweet potato latke. The sweet potato acts as the egg and the flour
Okay.
of a latke. And then you've got your regular shredded potato of a traditional latke.
Okay.
And you mix it together and bam, you got a candied yam latke. So that kind of idea, like literally like, okay, we've got falafel, so falafel,
Yeah.
but with black-eyed peas, sweet potatoes, broccoli, not garbanzo beans, parsley, and a bunch of different herbs.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
so we do the same. It's the same idea. It's just different ingredients. You know, the execution of it.
When you came up with that name, Blewish Cuisine, Black and Jewish, because you branded that now in such a way, like was that the creative process in you? Like, okay, I'm gonna, not only this is who I am as my identity,
Yeah.
but I'm going to brand this and also tie it back into what I serve.
Yep. So I actually didn't even think of the bluish part of it until I was in George Floyd Square. And I was like, I have to literally like brand a whole restaurant. I put the cows on the walls. I then literally thought of black when I was doing the coming soon signs. You know, I was literally just like black plus Jewish is bluish. So it's always just been evolving. Literally, that's why I say it's like I stepped into my calling.
For sure,
And
yeah.
the creativeness came, the branding came, the professionalism was already there.
Yeah.
The eagerness to keep learning and wanting to do better is already there. So I've only been destined to be able to continue to evolve. And that's how I've been able to position the company to be in a government building, you know, on
sure.
campus, Capitol campus.
Wow.
So
Wow.
it's nothing I saw my family do. It's nothing I've ever seen any black person do, to be honest, in my life. I know black people do this all the time. This is what we do.
Right.
But I didn't see it. So for me to do this is special. And I hope that it can show our younger youth, you know, the cliche, you can do whatever you want if you put your mind to it. But like, you literally can. You know?
You're blazing a trail. Now, I know well, I don't want to assume that you were nervous about it or hesitant about it, or did you have any trepidation about blazing your own trail and not necessarily having a figure to follow?
Yes and no. I just was grateful for the people who I did have, you know, and I leaned into them. And then as I did that, I was able to grow. And then I was able to find my people, you know, and then kind of get those mentors, you know, or those experiences, or really what it is lessons, you know, not losses, but lessons. And that's what really helped me learn and navigate or know how to adjust or shift.
So what do we call
bread
this?
broke.
This is a bacon, egg,
And cheese sandwich. You got it?
I'm gonna try right here. All right, Imani, so tell me, what are you showing Daniel how to do today?
Yeah, well, we are training Daniel on the bubby balls. So it's our staple item, and bubby means grandma in Yiddish, which is also Hebrew. So it's an old Jewish term. My kids know my mother as Bubby.
Okay.
So when I was making these, I was like, dang, this is something my grandmother would make. She would be happy. She'd be rolling over her grave like, girl, you got it. So I was like, you know what? Bubby balls. It's perfect.
Okay.
And that's what they become, and they sell it at the cafe every single week. And we're here to just also give you the little secrets, because you know, it's once in a lifetime chance right here.
So I mean, you're gonna make it like from scratch right now.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
You see all these things out? It's organized chaos, but it's gonna make a lot more sense in a minute.
Okay.
All right, Daniel, you know how I roll. You ready for this? We lead by example.
Okay.
So he's not gonna know how to do it the way it's supposed to be done unless I show him how to do it, right?
For sure.
So he's gotta have the competence to have the confidence to get it done, with or without me here. So we've got oats, ensuring gluten-free oats, because everything else in here is gluten-free. So if we hit him with non-gluten-free oats, it's not gluten-free anymore, and that can mess someone's stomach up.
Okay.
You know, so gut-friendly. So we've got our 8 cups.
Why 8 and not 7 or 9? Tell me how you came up with the 8 cups.
It's the texture.
Is it
The
okay?
texture of it, yeah.
Okay.
I'm a big texture freak, but you want it to be the base of it, right? You don't want it to just be like a lot of peanut butter or almond butter base. So this allows this to be the base, but too much will make it too thick and dry. So then you've got jar almond butter. So I just try to like get it around the base of all the oats.
Okay.
So you want to use all of it.
So
Great.
Daniel, what's it like learning like a new recipe and learning this like right here in real time?
Like getting a new math equation.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of numbers in here. Okay. Is it exciting for you? Is it?
Oh yeah, it's exciting.
It's right up your alley.
New every day.
Now, when you come up with these recipes, like this whole thing, how long does it take you to come up with? Do you sit down at night and you just start charting it down? Like
No, it just literally happens. It's like one thing after another. I feel like I'm my grandmother when I'm in the kitchen. Like she never cooked with recipes. She just did it. You know, it's like literally her ancestors were just calling her to tell her, add this, add this.
Okay.
So a lot of the times I'm cooking, I don't even use seasonings. I use seasonings. I don't use measurements. I'm just seasoning it until my ancestors tell me that's enough, baby.
So it's instinctual.
Always, every
Okay,
time.
okay.
So that's the hardest part of replicating your instincts because everyone's different.
Right.
You know, so to be able to lead your team to know how you're thinking is a whole nother level.
See, that's interesting because they have to understand your methodology because you're doing it off an instinct,
Yeah.
but he's not, and he has to do it off of directions, right? So is it because your mind is already racing 20 steps ahead instinctually? So then when you rear it back, is it harder to rear it back and say, okay, it's 8 cups of gluten-free, that kind of thing?
100%.
Okay.
It's starting, because I always tell him, you can never take away, but you can always add. So it's starting low and then being like, oh no, we need a little bit more of that. But having to make sure that we're not just doing the same thing I'm always doing, is just adding a little bit more, but literally measuring out that little bit more.
Yeah.
So it's like literally working together with him to be like, okay, this is how much I added. 1 tablespoon of paprika.
Yeah.
You write that
Right,
down,
yeah.
and then like plus another tablespoon of paprika, because you just keep going.
Because once you nail the taste, that's the taste.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like you got to remember, well, how did we get there?
Yep.
Right. So that's cool. Okay.
Exactly.
So we got 2 cups of water in here.
So then we've got 1.5 cups of cacao nibs. We ran out of those, so we're gonna do mini chocolate chips, which is just fine as well. This gives you that like nice crunch alongside all of the mushiness you might be seeing here. So you can toss that in there.
Talk to me about how when you started this process, like assembling a staff. Like right now you have Chef Daniel, but how did that even come about where you're like, okay, I need some hands, I need some help here.
Yeah.
Tell me, like, how did that happen?
I was a student at the University of Minnesota.
Mhm.
I was the Minnesota Halil chef in exchange for free housing. It allowed me to really hone in on my skill set. It allowed me to learn a new skill set because it's kosher cooking. And then it allowed me to do business on a level of no liability in all productivity, right? Because I'm not having to pay for anything. It's just constructive criticism I'm receiving to only be better. And those were the, terms and conditions we agreed to. They knew it was a student cooking for them.
Yeah.
So that's what they wanted. They wanted someone to come in with a dream and a passion to be able to execute, and for them to be able to essentially provide that platform. And that's how this grew. That's how everything continued to evolve. So now I graduate college and I secure an international partnership with Lululemon. And I'm their co-packer, I'm their wholesaler for their catering, their events, their private events, and their smoothies. So our cafe, essentially what you see here is what they have in the Lululemon store at Mall of America. So
Okay.
smoothies, coffees, like all this stuff. So it started with 8 smoothies, and we were also selling these Bubby balls like crazy. That's how the Lululemon partnership. They wanted protein balls after the smoothies. So I couldn't do it all. I was literally doing like every single day I was in the kitchen producing like 1,000+ smoothies by myself. So I needed to start, I started hiring my old college classmates.
Yeah.
I
okay.
started hiring because they were still on campus.
Yeah.
You know, and I was still, so it's just like I needed people. I started hiring people. I started telling my partner, we need people. I can't do this alone. And then we got into the George Floyd Square space, and then we really needed people. And so it's just been growing. But then you learn too, it's not about the quantity of staff. It's
Yeah.
the quality of staff. It's the quality of person, not the quantity of people.
Right.
You
for
know,
sure. Mhm.
one great person can grow with you.
Mhm.
A lot of bad people can destroy you.
For sure. Yeah.
Even one person can destroy you.
and this is the wrong person. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And so that's where it came about. Just literally just doing it all.
So you graduated from the University of Minnesota.
Yeah.
So they were that was a foundation piece for you in terms of just getting started, right?
Yep.
You were going to school there, but you were doing more than just going to school there. You
Yep.
were actually creating your business and what it is today.
Yep.
How
Yep.
cool is that? Was that the goal, or like are
That
you
was
surprised by it?
I went in there with a business mindset. This is a transaction for me, you know? So
Okay.
if I'm not here to do a good job and make connections, this is a waste of my time.
For sure. Okay.
And so I
Okay.
graduated, and I didn't go for food, right? Because you don't have like a culinary program at the U.
Mhm.
I went for human rights and justice and communications.
Oh,
So it could
wow.
elevate what I was doing already, what
Okay.
my calling already was, right?
Yeah.
I was already living in my calling, but this elevated it, right? I was leveraging school
Mhm.
to be that articulated Black woman everyone says I am, or
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
educated Black woman, and just being able to provide that insight to everyone I'm talking to, the realities of our individualities that are commonalities.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So it brings everything together. Literally, the education, what I already knew how to do, and what I'm learning how to do, and what I want to do is all encapsulated in this bowl.
We're talking to Imani Jackson, founder of Chopped and Served. Okay, so Imani, where are we at right now with this?
Yes, so we're about to add the agave. Ready? And this is vegan, you know, so this does not come from an animal. Honey comes from an animal, so
Okay.
that's why you can't say honey's vegan.
Okay.
Agave comes from a plant, it's
Mhm.
vegan. Then we've got our chia seeds.
I'm familiar with that. I put that in my water.
Yeah, and
Yes.
yeah, you can overnight oats. A lot of, yep,
Okay.
perfect for the gut.
Okay.
And then we've got, what is it, the cacao powder. We've got 2 tablespoons, bigger tablespoons of cacao powder.
Okay.
Boom. And then we've got vanilla. A little cinnamon. We do not have a little cinnamon today, but that's okay. And then just a sprinkle of salt, because salt enhances the natural flavors of everything. 2 tablespoons of vanilla and a little splash, because why not? All right. So now we're just going to mix it up.
Okay.
All right, y'all. So yeah, you
So
literally
just-
just go in. Yeah.
Oh.
Just go in, and it's going to
Oh.
all like come together.
Ooh. Okay.
The bigger the bowl, the better, because then you can really get in there, right? You want to like,
It's like a gooey
mush it.
texture.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, this looks great. Oh my gosh. Awesome.
And I did it.
Yep.
Okay. All
Yep,
right.
you're good. So then I hit it
Oh, sweet.
like that, and then I roll it, and then boom,
Oh,
toss it in that bad boy.
is this coconut?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
And so then you'll toss it in there,
Okay.
because you got to do these when these are wet, otherwise the coconut won't stick. And then that is a bubby ball.
Who decides what goes on your menu?
Me.
And tell me about that process.
And of course, I always ask for Chef Daniel's, like, what would you like to do? You know?
Yeah.
But the base of the menu and our like ground line menu is me. And then we always have room for like flexibility, customizability, and like any interest he may have. Or like, I want to do this. All right, well, let's do it.
Okay.
So it's not like this is it and this is all, you know?
So it's not it's a flexible menu. It's not like this is our breakfast menu, this is our lunch, this is our dinner.
Yeah, so I guess if you go on choppedandserved.com, you see like a menu, and then there's all of those options: breakfast, lunch, dinner, platters, crostinis, you know, appetizers. So you see a large variety of food.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you sat down to create that menu, like let's say for breakfast or
Yeah.
lunch, you say, okay, we need 7 items. Do we need 5 items, 3, a beverage? Like, how do you pick how many and to
Yeah.
be like diverse in terms of what the offerings are?
Yeah, so I stayed true to like what I like first and foremost. And then I think about what other people will like. And then I think about what's sustainable. Because like
Okay.
what we don't serve is pancakes and French toast and waffles because it's not sustainable. You know, if you think about it, like it might be sustainable when I'm giving it to you right here on your plate for like a restaurant.
Right.
But to cater that to, 150 plus people, 40 people, it's just not sustainable. So we do a French toast bake,
Okay.
So imagine like kind of bread pudding essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And then you cut that up into French toast pieces and then you
Mm-hmm.
sear that and then put the syrup on. So that's kind of the idea because that's sustainable,
Okay.
And then you have shrimp and grits. That's sustainable.
Mm-hmm.
You can make it work. You can make it last.
Yeah.
So for lunch, and then we have like your just standard catering menu, your box lunches, but it's like our version of it. So it's like a grandma's chicken salad or a tuna noodle, or egg salad. And you can also do your cold cuts as well.
Okay.
But
Okay.
everything on there, like you've got your crostinis. Those are like little appetizers, little bread appetizers. And then you've got just like your regular appetizers. So everything is just, what do I like?
Mhm.
What do people like? How do I make it sustainable? And, cost effective.
Just learning a lot about you. I mean, there's a lot of moving parts in
Yeah.
terms of what you do. You're the face, you're cooking, you're
Mhm.
marketing, you're doing all those things. Talk to me about like how do you create this successful environment where there are so many moving parts for you?
Yeah, I think my ADHD brain probably helps.
Okay. Okay.
That's how my ADHD goes.
Okay. All right.
So high functioning, you can multitask really well.
Okay.
I say that in so much seriousness. Like I've learned how to use my ADHD as an asset and a tool, and not let it like hold me back because it can. But the ability of being able to multitask and do several things at once, it might not feel like everything's getting done right at that moment. It's like I start a task and I don't finish it,
Right.
but it's like several tasks are getting started and are going, but
Mhm.
by the end of the day, they're done. So I just literally use every single arm and leg and limb I've got
Mhm.
and I
Yeah.
just make it work. But the biggest part of that is staying ready so you don't have to get ready. So you got to be organized. Like you got to have your schedule in your phone. You got to have it in your little notebook. You got to have it on your computer. You got to have your to-do list to following that. If you got to even put in, you got to shower,
Mhm.
you put that in. So, and then, but also be aware of like how your body responds to a full pack schedule. That's a cortisol spike as well. So I think it's knowing that every day you have is a productive day as long as you're 1% better than you were the day before. So it's not being like, I got to get my entire to-do list done. It's acknowledging that I did not get this entire to-do list done. How do I break it up in a priority, a secondary, and a wish list? Because I feel like a lot of people put like wishes on their to-do list and it's not realistic when you're coming to what needs to get done productivity wise, right? So yeah, that's kind of how to do it. You got to like break it up, little sections.
Is it challenging for you being the face of this whole enterprise and doing all the things you're talking about doing?
No, it's a blessing.
You're also the cook. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you're doing it all, and so just to be able to have that combination of like you're in there doing the hard work, but you're also out here being the face of it as well has to be really rewarding.
Yes, it is rewarding. It is tiring as well because think about it, I'm the employee of my business, right? And the goal is to be the business owner of the business. So I'm doing a lot of different hats, but that's entrepreneurship. So if you can't adapt to playing all the hats and all the roles, and if you can't be cleaning them dishes or wiping up that floor, you're not destined to be an entrepreneur. You're not destined to create a tone for anybody. You know what I mean? If you can't do it yourself.
How do you manage that?
Leading by example from the beginning, not shying away from it,
Yeah.
getting into it with them,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So then I can show them like, this is the expectation.
Mhm.
This is the standard, and then you should be able to follow once you know, because you
Mhm.
don't know unless you know.
Mhm.
You don't know what you know until you know it.
Mhm.
So you can't expect wherever you worked at Target, the way you clean the toilet there is the same way, you mop the floor here. It might not be. Like, I don't need you just going all over the place. I need you to have a method to the madness.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, there's methodical energy coming from here. You come into this job and I expect you to leave better than, like I said, how I found you. Because if you can adapt and learn the skill sets we need here, you will achieve anything in life. I mean, you have to know how to cook, right? You have to know how to show up, you know? So if you can show up to, just starting with showing up to work, and then you can adapt that, like, okay, I'm gonna do a good job today for me. Because I'm gonna learn this and I'm gonna execute this, then you can take that skill set you just learned, you got paid to learn, okay? And then go turn it into your own little blueprint or your own little field or your own little lane. And so every mindset I had when I was working a job, when I was working Whole Foods, when I was a sorority chef at the U event, like, who wants to be a sorority chef? You know, especially when I'm a student and I get to see them party and I'm sitting here feeding them, like, I'm working all day, you know? I went in there for me to do the best job I could do. So I knew how I could continue to be out in this world and like what tone I could set or what I could achieve and accomplish. And then I was able to turn everything else around and literally do it.
What do you feel like you're learning about yourself right now, like throughout this process?
That I have a lot of room to continue to improve on being the best leader.
Okay.
There's so much room to continue to grow. I'm 30. I just turned 30. So it's like, I don't know everything.
Yeah.
I can just tell you what I learned in my 20s. So ask me in 10 years, you know. And so that's why I feel like it's relatable. You know, like, I'm a mom of two under two. I've got a 3-year-old and 1.5-year-old. I graduated college by myself. I rescued the dog I always wanted. I have the man of my dreams. I've got my family. You know, everything is a blessing to be able to have this, to leverage my experience at college, to have, you know, here. I just had Benji, the executive director of Halil, come, and I was like, dude, like, I wouldn't have been able to do this without you. You know?
Yeah.
So being able to give people their flowers while they're still alive, because it's not just me. You know, it's people, like I said, like, willing to bet on me as well and invest in me and my dream, essentially. So yeah, it's just, I'm proud of myself, but I know I've got a lot of room for improvement and growth. And that's what I'm excited for, to see who I continue to become.
This segment is sponsored by Kowalski's Markets, where it's all about the joy of good food. So, you know, I end each episode with asking this question to all my guests, and that is, what is your Twin Cities hidden gem? It could be a place, event, or experience that you think more people should know about.
I've got not one, but two, and you have to go to both, okay? So you get the full effect. The first one is Rooted in Wellness chiropractor, Dr. Kelsey. And then we've got Build Health, the gym in North Minneapolis. It's ran by Tyler Phillips, who owns Totally Committed Fitness. Okay. They contracted him out to come in to the north side to redevelop what health and wellness looks like over there. And so we do that together through planting those seeds I told you about in December, with having youth camps, like, so the kids would come work out, and then after they do like a cooking class with me and plant seeds, because you gotta know, you know. So I'm so excited to be able to go back to those kids and give them tomatoes that I harvested that we planted together. Anyway, so yeah, so Rooted in Wellness Chiropractic and Totally Committed, Tyler Phillips, Build Health, all the things. Those are the two people that are gonna make all of this make even more sense.